It was a tragedy on a scale that is almost impossible to comprehend. The pain, the fear, the impact of your world turned upside down. It's just impossible to understand unless you were there, unless it was your family. The Zamora family understands. They also understand the impact of medical professionals being exactly where they needed to be, knowing exactly what they needed to know, and bringing their very best to bring about a miracle.
Well, I know Maya before the May 2022, she always had a story to tell you. There was always something talking. You can leave the room and she was talking and talking and talking.
Maya is just really independent. She is our bookworm. She loves school. She was already in robotics and she was already doing student council. She was in her first year in basketball and she loved it. She also was in Little League and in soccer since she was 4. So she was an all-around little girl. She loved it.
And then everything changed.
So that day, we were hearing different things. I had just arrived at work from her award ceremony. Things were buzzing, and I called my husband, and he says, well, let me go look and see if I see anything going on.
The Southwest Regional Advisory Council, or STRAC, coordinates emergency medical response for our trauma region. Their MedCon team had already sent an alert.
What first went through my head was disbelief and really a sense of sadness. Could this really be happening again? The next thing that went through my head is, well, we have to prepare. And we know that when you're 90 miles away from the nearest level 1 trauma center, that means working with and engaging our rural and frontier EMS colleagues and working with our rural hospital partner to support them in any way we can.
I was actually putting some of these kids in the buses and looking for Maya and never saw her.
And that's when Uvalde Memorial emergency room nurse called and said that she was being airlifted to University Hospital in critical condition.
When you have an event like this, there's an automatic list of physicians, hospital partners, the nursing team, the floors, the operating room. Everybody gets notified because we don't know how many people will be coming, but we prepare for a large number of people.
Dr. Stewart got the report from Uvalde Memorial.
I heard it from the emergency physician in Uvalde Memorial. A 10-year-old unstable patient, low blood pressure on arrival, multiple wounds, severely injured. Had secured an airway, had decompressed chest injuries, and had controlled bleeding using tourniquet and packing techniques from complex soft tissue wounds. They had initiated resuscitation with blood delivered to Uvalde Memorial. From my point of view, they did a masterful job.
The EMS crew and Uvalde Memorial had given Maya a fighting chance to survive. The relatively new regional whole blood program was a life-saving resource.
It was modeled and based off of the whole blood program that was used in Iraq and Afghanistan. There's many practical obstacles to make that a reality. You know, they did that, including a rotation schedule that involves University Hospital to serve as a rotation that when the blood is getting close to expiration, then we cycle that back to the city and keep that going all the time. Pre-hospital providers who committed that they'll get the blood there. That system did work. And in part, besides the amazing team of paramedics, emergency physician caring for the patient, that system really help them have the tools they need in a time when one child needed that.
Airlife flew Maya from Uvalde Memorial to University Hospital.
As soon as she arrived in the trauma bay, we gave her more blood and made a decision that we really need to get a better understanding of how deep these cavities, holes of missing tissue. We looked over all of the wounds and there were significant holes. I mean, they're gaping wounds in her chest, her arm. You know, in a way, they're hard to describe without seeing.
Meanwhile, Maya's parents and her brother, Zachary, were headed to San Antonio.
The Uvalde Memorial really didn't tell us anything about her injuries. You know, I just wondered, you know, where was she hit? You know, where was she wounded? Just how bad is she? Is she scared?
And I still remember, it's like, I don't know how to describe it, but it was a song, Everyone Talks to God. And I'll never forget that song. It played, and, you know, I think maybe that's what helped me keep focused, because I was coming, I don't know, 90, 100 miles an hour.
They weren't sure what to expect when they arrived. Dr. Liao and several members of the trauma team were waiting for them.
She told us her injuries and the ones that they were really worried about, and they really needed to get back to her. We could see the urgency in Dr. Liao's face.
She explained what was happening, what could happen, and next steps.
It's a focus to do what we need to do to get to that next step. And for us, knowing that she was able to make it to the hospital alive, our next step is to ensure that all the bleeding is stopped as quickly as possible.
In the operating room, they checked carefully around her heart. Fortunately, there were no bullet fragments. They moved on to the wounds.
We stopped the bleeding. You know, while Dr. Crane and Dr. Brigman were working on those wounds, we had 2 senior anesthesiologists infusing blood, providing the anesthesia, and looking at her overall physiology, while the rest of us were trying to coordinate other aspects of that care.
Her parents saw her for the first time in the ICU that night. It was their first glimpse of hope.
I could see it in her face. And even though she was sedated and intubated, I remember the nurses saying, "Maya, Mom and Dad are here." And I thought, is she gonna respond to that? And I saw her, and she did respond and open her eyes. And right away, you know, "You're safe, Mom and Dad are here, we're not gonna leave your side." And
Yeah, I remember that.
you know, she kind of relaxed her eyebrows and knew we were there. And I'm like, "You just rest, you know, we're here, we're not going anywhere."
And they didn't.
I just remember if she was awake, I wanted to be awake. And the 5 days I do remember we wanted to, like, okay, you stay awake just in case she, you know, opens her eyes and needs something, and I'll sleep for a little bit. And then I remember that.
It was if you got 30 minutes of sleep, I think it was good enough for us. I don't know.
But it was enough.
And they had trust and faith.
I left it in God's hands and the doctors. They needed our signature, no questions, just do what you need to do, you know.
I know, it was almost like, okay, just come in and let us know what you need to do. Like, it's not even asking for permission. We trust you completely. And I do remember them saying to us that there were some injuries that were life-threatening.
The process would be long.
And that requires that trauma team to really work to get rehabilitation and complete reintegration as normal as possible life for a child. It's literally hundreds and hundreds of people who have a common goal.
The day Maya woke up was a good day, but also hard.
Well, she had a lot to say, you know, and she really wanted just to let us know what happened. And she also had a lot of questions. She wanted to know how her friends were, you know, she wanted to know how her teachers were. And I think we waited a good 2 weeks before we let her know anything about what had happened and how tragic that day was. Just to keep her, you know, just
healthy.
her mind, you know, where it needed to be and calm.
From their experience, the trauma team knew that deep wounds were not just physical.
There's no way for me to walk up to Maya, a total stranger, for her to trust me, because she's lost trust in everybody at this point, right? Except for her parents. And so in order for us to get Maya in the best mental health and mental state to survive this, both physically and psychologically, we had to help Christina and Maya's dad to get to a point where they understand the process so that they can help Maya.
There were still so many procedures ahead and decisions to be made about her hand.
That hand was severely injured. I don't think anybody was 100% sure that we could save it, but what we know with 100% certainty, if we said we're not going to save it, is that she's not going to have a hand. The goal is to be able to do incredible things that other places can't do. And it may be resource intensive, and it was. And the downstream effects of saving her hand by saying, yes, we're going to try to save your hand. We're not here to do miracles, right? We're here to try our best. And we did. We tried our best. And a combination of patient genetics and people trying helped her keep her hand. No one can put a price on that. I'm so incredibly grateful for all the people who have just said yes to helping her along the way instead of saying no. That's what makes our trauma center one of the best in the country. It's that unwavering dedication to patient care. And she is a shining example of that.
Yeah, it's just amazing what everything that came together to save Maya's life, and we just look at her and we know what miracles, had to have happened.
Hey Maya, everybody wants to say hi to you. 1, 2, 3, go!
Also amazing was the outpouring of support from the community and across the country. After 66 days in the hospital and more than 60 procedures, it was time to leave.
We were finally being discharged. And I think the way we were sent off was just amazing for her, seeing her as happy as she was. And that helped her know that she had so much support and, she was going to be okay.
Well, I actually wasn't in town. Dr. Wiggins took a video for me of her saying goodbye.
Thank you, Dr. Liao.
That was just, it was incredible. She went through the trauma bay. Everybody was lined up. She had this huge smile on her face, and we were just all so proud of her. I was so proud of her. I cried when I saw the video.
There were lots of happy tears, but also fears.
And then she had her moments when she was like, wait, but I'm a little scared to go. She even asked, can we rent a room at the hospital? Ask Dr. Stewart if he can rent us a room just so we can go back one night.
They stayed in San Antonio.
They were a lot of appointments, almost 2 a day sometimes, and so being close by was amazing.
About a month later, a quick trip to Houston so the Astros could honor Maya was also amazing. But adjusting to their new reality is hard.
Almost 2 years later, we're still here, still with Maya. Therapy twice a week. We're out of the danger, but we're still struggling. You're drowning, but you're right on top of the water, and if you let go, you might drown.
They push through, one day at a time. Maya inspires them.
She just pushes through everything put in front of her, and wants to be normal, and so we want that for her.
Every child who has to go through multiple surgeries without tantrums, who's able to smile when they interact with strangers during that challenging hospital stay, I think that's a very strong child, right? Maya, she's incredible. I can't get through talking about this without crying.
Maya's generosity is also incredible. As she was leaving the hospital, she asked her mom to buy some little gifts, so she could give them to another young patient.
That was her first taste of giving back and wanting someone else to feel, because she was also made to feel very special by people just donating different stuffed animals and just different things that she liked, and her giving back and feeling what that felt like.
Next, she opened a lemonade stand and came back to the hospital with baskets for patients.
She made 3 girl baskets and 3 boy baskets and wanted to come and just give them. She didn't want anybody to know. For it to be announced or anything. That she just wanted to give back.
She's also now an advocate for blood donation.
I think it made me feel really good about the program and our team and what the team was able to provide for her, that allowed her to have an experience that didn't make her afraid of the hospital, because that's a very natural thing for children not to want to come back to a space that they felt very vulnerable at.
She's kept in contact with many of the people who saved her life. Amanda and Aaron were the EMS crew who took her from the school to Uvalde Memorial. They came to visit Maya in the hospital.
And Maya felt terrible because she says, I don't remember them. I'm not going to remember them, but I'm going to say hi and I'm going to be nice, And as soon as they walked in, she remembered Aaron's face and says, I do remember you. I do remember you. As we were talking, she stopped Amanda and says, Amanda, I don't remember your face, but I do remember your voice. And she says, I remember you saying to me, stay with me, stay with me.
Turns out Amanda and Aaron were engaged. They told her she was the rainbow on their darkest day when they asked her to be a junior bridesmaid at their wedding. From the EMTs to AirLife to everyone at University Hospital who saved Maya's life and helped make her strong, Maya and her family are grateful beyond words.
Thank you for taking care of me and keeping me alive. I'm very grateful for y'all. Very happy that y'all are a part of my life now.
It's very important to celebrate her life, a young person who's such a positive force and so resilient, and those who helped save her life.
They're heroes at the end of the day, all of them, every single one of them, because no matter how their day is or whatever, but they come to work, and I could tell you what I saw, they gave it their 100%.
Even as the Zamora family continues to push through each day, they think about Maya's future.
She's definitely here for a reason. I want Maya's life to be as normal as can be. I want her to experience it all. That's what I see for her future. Just what was supposed to be will come to be for her. But I'm hoping that she can take that and still find the positive in her life.
I hope to see the same smile that I've seen for the last few months. I hope I see her being able to do all the things that she had wanted to do before the injury and be able to achieve that. I hope to see her happy.
I hope to see the same thing that I think I would want for my children when they were her age. I hope to see somebody who is doing what they want to do, that they're maybe feel called to do.
It wouldn't surprise me if she came back as a medical student or a nursing student, or a therapist or a child life specialist. I could see her doing any of those things.
Maya isn't quite ready to commit to a career in medicine.
I don't really know what I want to do when I grow up. I just kind of say it's all a part of God's plan.
The bracelets they made are a reminder of that plan and the strength of their little girl.
Maya's strong right there. From just the moment she was injured to today, she is just our definition of strength.
So I could tell you what comes to my mind, never give up. She didn't give up.
Maya strong. Only God knows why.